What's going on, health and fitness family? It's your boy Sam Bishon here with the Ace Bodies Presents podcast. So today's episode is a very, very special one for me, man. Like it's my very first episode. I feel like it's very important for you guys to get to know me as a person. I feel like I want people to know that I love seeing people win. I love seeing people thrive. I love seeing people become the best version of themselves. And I especially love hearing about people's adversity that they overcome to become that version of themselves. So I wanted to create this podcast as a hub. I want this to be the place where you can come and be your raw self. There's no filtering yourself. Be exactly who you are, and exchange information with others on how you became you, the methods you took, and life lessons you learned. Because I feel as though this is a growth is a community thing. We can grow on our own, but I feel like when you're around people heading in the same direction, you are more likely to win. You're more likely to thrive. So that's pretty much what this is all about. And representing my company, Ace Bodies. As you guys can see, the apparel is around. The mission statement for this company is using fitness as a tool for mental, spiritual, and physical clarity. I tell people all the time where I'm initially from, we use sports as an escape. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I was born in '93. We use sports as an escape. I want to go to practice. I want to ball out to clear our mind and get away from it. And it's not an issue, but one thing I feel like we can do to change the mentality of that is look at the sport as a tool rather than an escape. So when you're in that escape, we forget about the things we're dealing with until we're reintroduced to it. But when we're thinking of a tool, we're using that tool and we're also considering the project at hand. So for football, I learned about teamwork. I can also take that back to the hood. I can also take that back to my family and apply what I'm learning as a sport. Consistency and practice to get better at a certain weak point. You can take that back home. Some of us are not good with communication within the household, and that ultimately determines who we become outside of the household. So the things that we learn in our sports and the things that we learn in a physical setting of working out or meditation or yoga, whatever modality of health you want to use, I always believe that there's things and lessons you can take out of that to take back home to your community, to your home, to your friend group, whatever it may be. So that's really what the brand is about. It's not just about working out. This is about mental health, physical health, spiritual health, something that us in the black community really, really need to double down on. So today, what we're going to do is I got a list of a bunch of questions that people wanted to ask me. So I'm going to go live with them on this podcast. So introducing it, we're going to go with the first question. I don't want to make this hard for y'all. I want y'all to really get to know me. So number one, we got, what motivates you to prioritize fitness and health in your daily life, and how does your cultural identity influence this motivation? So like I said, I'm from Baltimore, man. We not only do we not care about practicing health, we make fun of niggas that want to be healthy. I feel like growing up, when you say, hey, man, I want to drink some water over the soda, they're like, man, who are you? Like, why you want to be that person? Drink this soda, man. You always want to be the healthy one. You always want to be the healthy one. And I'm like, damn. And for a long time, I felt myself trying to, teeter-totter between the two. My spirit always told me, health is the way. I always felt better making a healthier decision. I always felt better drinking the water over the soda. But I just had friends that just wanted to drink soda, drink juice, eat the pizza. And I've done that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't excluded at that point. I wasn't making the decision to say no to these things. You're a child, you're a kid. You don't care about that. You just want to have fun. You know, so I feel like me growing up and me seeing so many people in my family die from diabetes or have diabetes, or so many people, on their deathbed and doing absolutely nothing about it, I was always curious on why these things happen to us and why I wasn't hearing about it happening in other communities. It was just always the black community. It was always, like my family. It was always just us. When I say us, it was just always us dealing with the issues. And I'm like, there has to be a reason for this. There's no way genetically we made it this far in the grand scheme of the universe, and we just this weak genetically. That never made sense to me. So I took it upon myself to just start diving into different modalities of health. Playing sports in high school. Learning about what it even means, to be healthy, why it's important to be healthy, what changes about you when you become healthy. Watching my brother have a heart attack When I was 15, he was 25. He had a heart attack at 25. You know, and I was just paying attention to a lot of things. I don't know why. I feel like I was just chosen by the universe. I was chosen by the universe to go and find out this information. And along my journey, it got pretty interesting. I started to learn that I wasn't me. I was the decisions and the processing of those thoughts, you know? And it helped me unravel myself a lot. I learned that I wasn't Baltimore. I learned that that's where I'm from. I also learned that I wasn't feeling bad. I was making bad choices that made me feel bad. I also realized that, I wasn't, you're not stuck. You're not, a failure. You're not successful. Your habits are these things, and people attach these things to you. So in order for me to get to the point of the question, I want to say that I prioritize fitness and health in my day-to-day life with all that in mind. I'm realizing like, damn, it may be hard for me to get up and go to the gym, but it's going to be harder down the road for me to not be able to walk. It may be hard for me to want to make that healthy food decision right now, but it's going to be harder for me to have to go to doctor's appointments day in and day out in the middle of me trying to go to work and in the middle of me feeling bad because I've been making bad choices. So being able to see from a young age older people who have made terrible health decisions and be on their deathbed and fight the fact that they could do something about it, all the way to me being here in my life at 30 years old and seeing people, you know, struggle with that battle. It's a constant battle. I've learned that it's just your habits. So I prioritize health and fitness because I've just seen too many people make terrible decisions and exclude the fact that they could do something about it. So for me to be a personal trainer, for me to be in the health industry, I have to be an example. And with that process happening for myself, I want to be able to just help others to do that. Blah, blah, blah. That was a terrible one. I'm gonna cut that out. So that's that. Now I want to go into the second question. So the question number 2 from our viewer is: how does cultural perceptions of beauty and body image impact the way Black individuals approach fitness and health? That's a great one. Like, man, everybody nowadays getting BBLs. We getting our teeth done. We getting our hair done every week. When it's women, we're getting our hair done every month. Men, we getting our haircuts every 2 weeks, which is nothing wrong with that. But our health system is based off of just appearance. We want the fat ass, the small waist, the hair all laid. But these are not the things that determine if you're healthy or not. And within our community, it's a terrible thing that we don't want to prioritize the things that actually make us feel good. So we always feel empty inside. And I've seen some of the most beautiful women hate themselves, never be happy or satisfied with their life. I've also seen some of the most qualified guys, with the high figure jobs and 6'4" and, the crispy lineup and the fire clothes, hate their life, want to commit suicide, things like that. And I feel like our culture prioritizes the visual of success rather than the actual process of success. And that kills us a lot because we got the youth watching these people. I got my nieces and my nephews, mimicking their favorite rapper, their favorite singer, their favorite artist. And I feel like when we can rewire the idea of why the process of health is not pretty, why the process of getting in shape is hard, when we can understand that part and ingrain that into our culture, I feel like we'll be a lot better. Because the first thing people think when they start working out is, oh, I'm gonna start working out, I'm about to feel great every day. No, you feel worse. You always feel worse first. Your body has to go through the changes to become that person. Just like if you can't read, learning to read is hard. You feel like a failure because everybody else can read and you can't. With fitness, it's the same thing. You look at it as hard because you see everybody else doing the things that you want to do, but you say, I can't do it, so you do something else. We can't be good at everything starting off, and I feel like at our culture, we love immediate gratification. We sell drugs. Why? For immediate money. We do all these different things for immediate success, and that ends us up in jail. That ends us up in the hospital. That makes us feel like health doesn't work, And I feel like understanding that change and growth in health is not a pretty process. It has a pretty ending. That is a mindset I would love to see people switch. So with my culture, we just got to get to the point of understanding that this is a long game. You can't have what you want tomorrow, because when you get that, what are you going for the next day? It's a process every single day. So I just want my people to know that you have the ability to go through the hardship, and it's a beautiful prize on the other side. It's not always going to be rainbows and flowers and fucking roses. You're going to be in that ditch where you feel like you got to climb out. You're going to be in that mental hole where you feel like you got to become somebody else, because you are becoming somebody else. You can't, you can't get to a new destination with the same, spot in the GPS. Y'all get what I'm saying? Y'all follow me? Yeah, I like that question. That was actually a pretty good one. All right, y'all. So going into question number 3. This one is: what are some common barriers or challenges you face when trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle, and how do you overcome them within the context of your cultural background? Ooh, that's a good one. I want to say, hmm, common barriers that I face. A big one is I had to start with weed. Our whole culture, we all smoke weed. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the process. I wanna eliminate weed for the big picture of my life. I don't want to be labeled as a weed smoker. I want to be a person who occasionally smokes, but I'm not a smoker. And I'm working on that myself. That's my own personal goal with it. But when you out with your peoples, you out with your mans, you out with your friends, and everybody rolling up, and you like, yo, y'all hitting this. It look good in pictures. We look cool, and it's ingrained into my culture. So like when I'm looking at music videos, like I'm not even necessarily looking for the weed or the blunts, but I'm like when I see them blowing the smoke out all slow with the smoke out all slow with the sunglasses on, I'm like, bro, like that shit just looks fire, and it's like it's real. Like we are a product of our environment, and it's certain things and habits that we all have that we're like, yo, we need to have this as a part of our project in order for it to be cool. And it's a fight within myself, because learning to love yourself is being okay with not following that standard norm, and still knowing that you're cool, and I have to fight with that. I have to fight with the whole, we love fried chicken. When people ask me about not eating meat anymore, they're like, damn, bro, you don't eat chicken, you don't eat this. How do you get your protein? Like when grandma cooking, you gotta eat some. You got to. You can't say no to mom. You can't say no to grandma. You can't say no. Like what you don't want to eat, you too good for the food. It's like you feel the disconnect. And as human beings, we love to feel connected. We have to feel connected. So I feel like it's the need for the connection of the bad habits that we have in our. Oh, let me rephrase that. It's the need for the connection that makes us okay with staying connected to bad habits within our community. We'd rather have the bad connection to have the relationship than to break the bad connection and lose the relationship. So I would say that's my biggest struggle in my own personal life, is separating norms that I've had or things that aren't good for me from the people that I would love to stay in communication with. And it can get hard when the majority of your culture or your peers are in a certain mental state, and you're the only one trying to pull away, or you're pulling away in your own direction. I won't say only one pulling away, but pulling away in your own direction, because it's hard to be the first person to do anything. There's you're delusional until you do it, and now you're a genius. So my biggest thing I really would have to say is fighting against necessities of getting away from people that I want to be around, but the habit is too detrimental for my own good. So that was a good question as well. All right, you guys. So we're gonna move on to our next question. Our next viewer says, "Can you share your experiences with mental health and how it intersects with your physical well-being as a black person?" Oh my God. Okay. So those of you who do personally know me, I always talk about the period in my life about no, it's about 4 years ago. I went through the worst depression stage that I never thought even was possible to go through. I was going home after work training my clients. I was sitting in the house, and I would literally sit against the wall and just stare into blank space. I was so lost. I couldn't feel my emotions. I couldn't feel happy. I couldn't feel sad. I couldn't feel angry. I couldn't feel a damn thing. And that took a really big toll on me because during that period in my life, I wasn't even sure of who I was, you know? So I was floating around with the idea of do I even belong in the do I belong in the space that I'm trying to be in? I was dealing with imposter syndrome. I'm like, do I deserve the friends that I do have? Because I didn't know who I was. And the depressing side of it is because I am black, it's harder to talk about mental health with other black people. So then there's another disconnect, you know? And you feel lost, you feel stuck, you feel like you're in a deep hole. You also feel like you have no community to go to. So we often have to deal with that trauma on our own, and it goes on way longer than what it really, really should. Like, even during that period when I said I was just sitting in the house all day, just like staring at the wall, like car was broke down, like I had car problems going on. I'm living 45 minutes away from the gym I'm training at. Like I'm paying 13.30 at the time for an apartment. And I'm just trying to make sense of who I was and trying to make sense of my situation in the middle of depression, feeling like I had nobody to talk to. I will say it was one person in my life at the time that was there for me, and like, you know who you are. Shout out to you, like I appreciate anybody that's been in my life during my hard times, but that was one of the hardest times in my life, and I just felt low. I felt like I was in a hole. I felt like I had nobody to talk to. I eventually, a year after that, I wound up hiring a therapist. You know, that was a person that I met. She was not a black therapist, however, she's a great therapist. And I met a lot of people along my journey that was willing to help me for where I was, and I wasn't going to reject any help at that point. But that goes to show you, like, I'm a black man, and I'm talking to people about depression, and the person that reached out to me who knew how important it was a white therapist. So it's like it goes to show you, like, there's not a lot of people who want to even reach out and start talking to you about mental health unless you bring it to them first, or you put it in the air and you gotta let somebody come to you. It's like, so my advice would be just put it in the air. Like, you gotta be okay with knowing you're depressed and being okay with knowing that that is okay. You have to talk about it because you could be depressed right next to your best friend and they could be depressed and you guys never talk about it. You just talk about feeling bad, feeling down, and that's as far as it goes. And there's no practices to get you guys out of it. So meditation was a big part of it. Being able to talk to yourself as a friend. When your friends are dealing with things, you like, yo, you got this, you can do this. But when we're in the mirror, we don't have words or thoughts for ourselves. We just stare at ourselves. The mirror is one of the most powerful tools that you could possibly have in the house. We talk about, our phones, we talk about our computers, but that conversation you have in the mirror in the morning could set the best tone for your day than anything else could possibly do. Affirmations on YouTube, you'll listen to them, you'll be like, damn, these are good, but that's not what I need right now all the time. When you're depressed, you need affirmations on being happy. When you're anxious, you need affirmations on being calm. And the fact that you can talk to yourself like that and keep the same passion, never lose your passion when you're talking to yourself, like when you're talking to other people. And that was a thing I've struggled with in the past. I would pour all this energy into everybody else, and I found myself talking to myself with less energy. I found myself talking to myself with a less discerning tone. I found myself not even fully believing that me talking to myself would help. And you have to buy into the idea that talking to yourself is going to help. You just have to tell yourself and trust it. Like a good analogy is somebody could say, bro, come to this party, it's going to be fire. And I'm like, I ain't never been there. I don't know if it's going to be fire, but I believe it because it's been a party that's been going on every month and everybody says it's lit. I never been there, nor have I, witnessed it myself. But because I trust it, I get my fly outfit. I get ready for it, and I already start the pregame. We start, getting our shots. We get ready for the party because we know it's going to be lit. And we have to carry the same approach when it comes to your mental health. You have to say, like, all right, I got to talk to myself in this way. I have to believe in this process because I won't get what I'm supposed to get out of it until I fully buy into the process. So, man, talk to yourself, love yourself, and be yourself. That's really that. But that mental health thing is really important. You have to talk to yourself as if you're the person that you want to be already. So when you're down, be in that mirror. I love myself. I am universal. That's my favorite one. I am universal. If I feel like I can be accepted anywhere, I can be my best self anywhere I go. There is no demographic that is off limits to me. I'm black. I can go into a hair salon and talk my shit. I can go into a barbershop and talk my shit. I can go into a Catholic church and talk my shit. I can go into a synagogue and talk my I can go in any environment and talk my shit because we're more alike than we are different as a human being. And when I live in that universal side of me, I'm always connected to anybody I'm around, whether they want to be connected to me or not. They have no choice because I made that my option. Their option may be to be able to disconnect, but I made it my choice that I'm going to have something to connect with you about. And if you choose to fight that, that's your restraint, that's your burden. But I have to step into every situation as my best self to honestly combat my mental health and my own, my own detrimental thoughts. Hey, I like this. This is fun. You should start a podcast, whoever's watching. All right. So what's next on the list? All right, I like this. We get into some community stuff here. So our next question from our viewer is, how important is community support in helping black individuals achieve their fitness goals and maintain overall health? Oh my, let's go. So my Ace Bodies community, I have group fitness classes Monday through Friday. We have 9 a.m., we have 12 p.m., we have 7 p.m. It's super important because when you are dead ass tired and you look to your left and you see somebody else that's dead ass tired and they looking at you and they're like, yo, we can do this. It is something about being at your absolute lowest and seeing somebody else push through that will ultimately set the foundation for you to become that next level. And like I said, we are around a community of people who think that eating terrible is, okay, or eating just cutting out certain foods is healthy, which is not the case. Because your community believes that, you're going to believe that, and it's going to be harder for you to separate yourself from that. So, bringing in that community of people who want to go where you want to go, you're not always going to have a community that's where you want to be, but you can ultimately start by building a community of people who are going where you want to go. Get everybody in that vehicle and everybody's pitching in on the way to the destination. You cannot have somebody in the car going to another destination. Why? Because when you're not looking, they're changing the address in the GPS. Why? Because they're not trying to put in gas because you're taking them further away from their destination. Why? Because they are not bought into the idea. So when you get to your destination, they're going to ruin the experience. You have to have a tribe of people who have the same mindset, who are going where you're going, and you cannot look at only the people who are there. You have to find people who are on the way as well. The people that are on the way are the people who help you most in your lows. The people who are already there are the people who help you when you're in your highs because they pull you up. But you always need somebody going in the same direction as you, that's in the same place, so you can see the reflection of yourself. Because when you want to quit and you see somebody else ready to quit and you see how far that they can make it if they do not give up, you'll start to apply those same principles to yourself. So that community is important, especially with having people who are on the way and also having people that are there. So when it comes to the world of fitness, having people who are in shape around you makes you want to go harder. And the more you go harder, they will introduce new things to you that can, help your body get stronger. But you may not have things that you can do that I can do. But there are things that I can't do that other people can do. And when I am ready to get to that move, they can help me. But they can't assist me, or they can't show me or teach me that move until I'm ready for that move. But there are people behind me that aren't where I am physically, where I'm like, damn, I have to keep going because I have people watching me. This is my tribe. And if they don't think that I can get to that next level, they're not going to think beyond where I can go. One of the best quotes I've heard recently over the past week was, you can't believe beyond your belief. You can't believe beyond, what was it? Hold on, I'm going to get this, y'all. It was, you cannot become, there we go. You cannot become beyond your belief. So that first step is changing your belief. And if my belief has no cap, then I honestly truly believe that my tribe will not have that cap on themselves as well. So I don't limit myself. I don't say what I can and cannot do physically. I say, damn, like that's gonna be a tough one to get through. That's gonna be like hard to execute. Or that is gonna be something that I could do efficiently 3 months from now, 4 months from now. Right now, I may not be able to physically master it, but I can do what I can do right now. So community is super important, bro. Crazy important. You are part of the Ace Bodies family too. If you watching this, as you see the apparel, I'm always rocking, always repping. I want everybody to know, like, I'm representing my tribe, and my tribe represents me. So when I'm wearing this, I'm gonna always be Mr. Ace Bodies. Shout out Sambition. You Sambition, but like I said, I talk to myself. I love myself, so I have to talk to myself like this. Some people might look at it as arrogant. Some people might look at it as cocky. I'm looking at it like ain't nobody gonna talk to me like I talk to me. Ain't nobody gonna pump me up like I pump myself up. If, and matter of fact, when you talk shit about yourself, people will aid you in that. They'll let you talk shit about yourself all day. But they not gonna call you, oh, cocky, this, that, that. They're gonna let you talk shit about you like, oh no, it's okay. But when you start talking good about yourself, watch how people change. People hate when you talking great about yourself. But when you're talking down on yourself, they okay with that. Like, that's something to really take note of, man. Like, that's not the people you need to be around. When I say I want to be great, you need people around you that's like, yo, you are great. You will be great. You can't have them people that's rolling their eyes when you talking about how good you feel. You can't be around people that's rolling their eyes. You could be in the mirror looking at just like, damn, I feel good. Like, I'm proud of where I'm at. And it's people rolling their eyes at you. They think you full of yourself. Yo, fuck them. Like, be full of yourself. Don't be empty of yourself. It's real simple. Be full of yourself. Don't be empty of yourself. Don't be voided. Let's go. All right, man. We getting deep. We getting deep. What's the next question? I like this one. All right. In what ways can traditional or contemporary forms of exercise be more inclusive of black experience and interest? And how does this contribute to a sense of cultural belonging? These are some deep ass questions. I will say contemporary forms of exercise and traditional be more inclusive of black experiences. I would have to say like probably games. We love basketball. And that's a tradition in black athletics. We love basketball. So instead of having somebody come to the gym to just hit weights, we're gonna talk about Michael Jordan. We're gonna talk about Kobe. We're gonna talk about, all the influences in the black community that made it big and did it great in our community, and we're gonna mimic that style. So I got you on the court. I'm gonna be feeding you Michael Jordan quotes. I'm gonna be feeding you Kobe quotes. Kobe, one of his things is I'm gonna find the best person in the game, and I'm gonna see how many times they practice a day, and I'm gonna triple it. So his 1 to my 3 workouts, or that's his 2 to my 6 workouts, or that's his 3 to my 9 workouts, and I'm gonna motivate them with the lens of Kobe because that's something that's really big into the black community. Now, as far as like contemporary styles of exercise, CrossFit is a big thing now. What is it? All these new modalities. We got these new type of machines. We got foam rolling, which wasn't a big thing, 10, 15 years ago. Foam rolling really wasn't a big talked about topic, but all of these new fitness modalities come into play. And and honestly, the best way for me to relate stuff that's new to the black experience and how I can capitalize on it, I just want to say like everything has a purpose, everything has a function. So us as black people, we're usually the last to get things. We're the last to have a lot. And all of these new modalities that have came out, they're already been around. What we need to do is just have discernment and say, what do I personally need right now? And how can these new modalities help me? Everything doesn't have to be for you right now. We have to address what we personally need first. With black people, we have a lot of mental trauma. So again, no matter what we're doing, whether it's a new modality like foam rolling, whether it's CrossFit, I'm going to attack the mental first. And I truly believe that if I can attack the mental side of any type of modality, whether it is traditional or contemporary, that as long as you have the right mindset, you'll have the ability to see the tools within the factor that we're using. So if we're playing basketball and I'm teaching you about the team, being a team player, and I'm teaching you about dribbling, the fundamentals of, shooting the basketball. You need form to make the basketball. If you see the hoop and you have terrible form, the ball is going to go in another direction. The same thing is in life. You have a goal, but your form is off and you're not shooting properly. You're always going to land in another spot. Don't let that disappointment of landing in another spot make you feel like you suck. Let that ball landing in another spot make you aware that there's something about your jumper that is off. It may be your wrist, it may be your elbow, it may be the direction your foot is pointing when you shoot, but there's always something mechanically wrong with your shot when you miss and you felt like you should have made it. So mechanically, if you aren't getting where the results you want, you have to understand that there's something mechanically about your process that is not working. So attacking the mind state of my culture will be the number one approach rather than attempting to only focus on the physical first and attacking the mindset later. So I don't think I would change anything. What I think I would do is just attack it in a different approach. Fire. Okay. Now we got a spiritual question. I like that because y'all know I'm spiritual. Y'all don't know that. Y'all gonna find out though. A spiritual question in here. So it says, what role does spirituality or faith play in shaping your approach to fitness and wellness as a black individual? And how does it reflect your cultural heritage? I'm going to read that one more time. It says, what role does spirituality or faith play in shaping your approach to fitness and wellness as a black individual? And how does it reflect your cultural heritage? Okay. I honestly know that drums set me off. I love drums. Something about them that gets me going. We have something that's called the Akashic Records. I'm going to drop a gem on y'all. It's called the Akashic Records is literally every single thing that has happened in the universe wired into your DNA. So anything that I could do in this life that affects me physically, emotionally, hormonally will wire into my DNA. And then when I pass that to my offspring, they will go through their own experiences, but I have set the foundation for them to learn, to feel, to do based off of everything I've done. And that DNA structure is what continues on and on and on and on and on. So I honestly feel like the fact that my ancestors focused on spirituality rather than a religion. We focused on being connected to the universe rather than separating ourselves from an entity and putting ourselves in a box. I feel like it's also helped me in my fitness and my health journey because I'm able to resonate with my body. I'm able to feel the universe out with my body. I'm able to have discernment on what's good for me or not with just my ability to sit with the information and be calm and let my body tell me. We have all had situations in our life that we question how we felt because we didn't know that we were supposed to trust that. We didn't know that our intuition was something that is God-given. We think, oh, I feel like this isn't good for me, but I'm going to trust it anyway just because I feel like I think I'm supposed to trust it. Like, no. I've learned throughout my journey that everything isn't for me, and everything that is good isn't good for me, and everything that is great isn't great for me, and vice versa. What might be bad for them might be, great for me. What's bad for the bird is great for the fish, and vice versa. Like, I just know how to trust my body. I know how to tap into my ancestral guidance. I feel like the healthier I get, the more my Akashic records start to unfold within my own thought process. And I'm able to see and feel the things in the direction I'm supposed to go because there's no one that can walk in your shoes. So how do you know where you're supposed to be every single day? You set a schedule, and if that schedule makes you feel good, execute that schedule. If you go through that and you experience some hardship, but you still can't stop thinking about the other end or the outside part of what you're dealing with, then you're in the right direction. If you're always dealing with something that makes you want to turn around and in your heart that you should not even see what's on the other side, then you need to turn around. Don't look at money as something to keep going for. Like, oh, it's money on the other side of that, but how do you feel about what's on the other side? That shit is way more important. So tap in, yo. Learn how to feel. Learn how to just absorb energy and process energy. You don't always have to control energy. Sometimes energy is just meant for you to feel, for you to process. You don't have to always do something with the energy. You can store the energy. When you're happy, allow yourself to feel happy. When you're sad, allow yourself to feel sad. Let the energy process. Stop tensing your fingers up. Stop shrugging your shoulders up. Like, let your body be a body. Let your mind be a mind. Let your spirit be a spirit. They do their own things for a reason. You can't have your body trying to do your spirit's mind. You can't have your spirit trying to do your heart's mind. It's your heart's work. It's a lot that goes into being a human being. It's a human being. You have to be. It's not a human doing. We can't be doing all the time. Sometimes we just have to be. Be sad, be happy, be mad. That is you talking to yourself. That is another form of meditation or spirituality, connectivity. So understanding that you just have to feel and learn how to feel to really win in life is a big lesson I feel like a lot of people should learn. Awesome sauce, man. I'm feeling good, man. By the way, go grab some Ace Bodies apparel, man. Like, we got high quality cotton, up to 55 washes. Shout out to my man Jay. If you guys need to connect on how to build a brand, I'll strongly recommend Jay. He's a black owned business. He's given me a lot of insight on how this really works. And, I just love the network of team that I'm building. So shout out Jay, question mark customs. Question customs. There we go. All right, y'all. So we're about to move into our next question. We have question number 8. Can you share some strategies for managing stress and promoting mental well-being as a black person striving for fitness and health? Okay, we're gonna make this one short and sweet because I don't want y'all to lose this one. Meditation, meditation, meditation. If you are not the first person to talk to yourself and feel what you're saying, you will let whatever happens in that day set the tone for your day. Okay? So talk to yourself. You're not crazy. Talk to yourself. I say some stupid shit in the mirror sometimes and I start laughing at myself. I'll say some intelligent shit in the mirror to myself. I'm like, damn, nigga, you smart. I'll say I've said hurtful stuff to myself in the mirror before. And I'm like, damn, you right. You believe what you are. The more time you spend in the space, the more you become that person or the more you want to make that a reality. So start meditating, using affirmations, talking to yourself. If you can wake up 10 minutes earlier and talk to yourself when you're not feeling good, I promise you a week later, you will feel motherfucking amazing. You will feel amazing, or you will set the tone to start feeling amazing. You will notice a change. I do not believe that you will go a week or 2 weeks waking up every day telling yourself positive shit for 10 minutes in the mirror, making yourself laugh, telling a joke. I do not believe you're not going to know. I don't see you not making a change. And correct me if I'm wrong. And I want somebody to do this. Don't comment on it now when you see it. I want you to go try it for a week or two and let me know after the fact. Don't say it don't work. I want you to go into it wholeheartedly, full throttle. You're not just going to, back to the basketball analogy. We're not just shooting hoops and hoping we make it. We're trying to say, all right, I'm going to align this up. I'm going to align my foot with my knee, with my elbow, with my wrist to make this shot. If I miss, let me find the tweaks I need to make. I'm talking about going that deep into the process. After the first day, you talk to yourself and you're like, damn, okay, I like what I was saying to myself. I want you to keep rocking with those words to get yourself to that next day. And if there's something you feel like you may need 3 days down the road, something you need to introduce it. But you need to set a foundation, start at least taking the shots so you can start fixing the shot, But it's a great help. That's one, meditation. I would say number 2 really would be just healthy practices. Schedule your practices. Like, a lot of us, we go to work Monday through Friday. We know our schedule. 3 months down the road, you're not going to schedule nothing for that time frame because you know you're going to be at work 3 months down the road. 4 months down the road, you know you're going to be at work. 5 months down the road, you know you're going to be at work. But if you got a vacation coming up, what are you going to do? You're going to call in advance. You're going to let your boss know. You're going to do the necessary paperwork to schedule it in there. And then when you go on your vacation, what you're not doing is thinking about work. Why? Because you scheduled it. A lot of times I have clients, I have people that come into my life that say, I can't be healthy. I don't got the time to be healthy. But I see them out drinking. They're partying. They're doing all this shit that they say they want to get away from because they had to go. I was invited. I don't want to disappoint this person. I don't want to feel like I'm a bad friend. I don't want to feel like that I'm restricting myself. You don't got to restrict yourself. You got to schedule yourself. If you want to work out, schedule your workout in. It don't gotta be an hour workout. It can be 20 minutes, it can be 30 minutes. You have that time in your day. You have that motherfucking time in your day. Like, if it's not in your schedule, then it's not gonna happen. But you can't blame your day for it not getting done. You have to take accountability and say, like, it's not in my schedule, you know? And when you get invited to go out, you go to the mall to get clothes. You do all of these things to prepare for the event because it's in your schedule. If it's not in your schedule, I don't want to hear about what you can't get done until I see on paper that it's in your schedule. Because once it's in your schedule, now you can tweak your schedule. But you can't make tweaks to something that isn't even being executed. So make tweaks to it, but schedule that shit in, man. Meditation, all that shit. And even back to the first point, I said 10 minutes in the morning. That's a schedule. You scheduled that. So you're going to set your alarm 10 minutes earlier than what you normally get up, and now you're doing it. But if you get up at the same time and you do the 10 minutes, that may have you getting out of the house 10 minutes late. And that's when you tell me, I don't got the time in the morning to do it, you know? And we're all victims. I'm not perfect. I love to wake up. I try to, it's my best to do meditations at night because my mind really works. It is really, really receptive to affirmations at night, more so than in the morning. So I'll talk to myself in the morning, but I have to listen to that thing at night when my mind is shut off and I don't want to be all critical of my own thinking. I'll listen to it and I'll let my body absorb it. So if I'm hearing I'm great all night long, I'll feel great when I go to bed. And your body, this is a fun fact, your body, the emotion or the feeling that you go to sleep with is the feeling or the emotional processing that your body is wiring you to the entire night that you're asleep. So I learned that in the psychology. I watched the psychology documentary, and that was something that it talked about. So that last thought or that last emotional feeling you have at night is what you're wiring yourself to. So if you're asleep for 8 hours and you went to bed feeling great, you're going to most likely wake up in that same frequency. You know, so it's super important to schedule these things. Those are my two biggest. Like outside of the scheduling, it could be anything. Whatever you want to do physically or health wise, you just have to schedule it. If you're not flexible, you need to schedule stretching. If you're not right in the head mentally, you're depressed, you need to schedule affirmations. You need to schedule time with your therapist. You need to schedule a time to get out. If you feel like you're not fit, you need to schedule a time to go to the gym. But until it's in your schedule and until you can show me your schedule being blocked up for all 24 hours, excluding the 8 for sleep, then you have no room to say you don't have time to do anything. You have time to complain about what you're not doing, but you also have time to do all the shit you don't need to be doing. Like, get out of here with all that. We don't want to hear that. That's not the Ace Body's way. We don't want to hear all that. Man, this is fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm gonna drink some water. Let me take a sip right now. All right, y'all. So, how long we been live? How long we been live? 30 minutes. Okay, cool. All right, man. About 45. All right, bet. You know, this is day one, so I'm gonna do a few more questions, and I'm just gonna talk to the people a little bit more, and then we good for the day. So the next question we got is can you discuss the impact of historical and societal factors on the health and well-being of black individuals and how it informs your approach to fitness within your cultural framework? I'm gonna read that one more time. These are some deep ass questions, y'all. Can you discuss the impact of historical and societal factors on the health and well-being of black individuals and how it informs your approach to fitness within your cultural framework? All right, I would say we have things like the Tuskegee experiment where they injected black men or a lot of black people with I believe it was syphilis. Don't quote me on that. It was one of the STDs. It was either herpes, it was syphilis or something. Every time there's a health experiment that comes out, they always target black people and they always give us some shit and they always do something to hurt our community. So we don't believe in doctors. We don't want to go to the doctor. We don't care what the doctor got to say. I'm not saying doctors don't have their place, but what I'm going to say is historically, doctors have been fucking us over. You know, when a white person or when a person of another of the Caucasian descent is pre-diabetic, black people, we're already diabetic. We our numbers are different. Our genealogy does not have the same numbers when it comes to these disparities. You know, so my issue with us is, or my not with us, but my issue with the health system and the tradition that have happened in the past is we don't believe in the health system because the health system has continuously fucked us over. They used to use black women when it came to practicing C-sections and doing all these modalities to help women in surgery to have a baby, but they weren't giving them anesthesia. They was just cutting them open. They didn't care about the black women at that point in time. So they cared about the white women. So they didn't, they didn't want to hurt them. So they practiced on us. All these health experiments, they practice on us. So, like, we're wired to not care about the health system. We're wired to feel that way. So how do I get somebody that is black to want to go see their doctor or go see their therapist? We have to get them to understand the separation between why they need them. You don't need a medical doctor to help you lose weight. You need a medical doctor to tell you what the fuck is about to go wrong in your body right now. That's what a medical professional should be for, to help you identify your issues, to help you identify what you're dealing with. But when it comes to actually being healthy, that is not your physician's job to make you lose weight. He's to advise you on what to take if you're not willing to make those changes. Most doctors don't believe diabetic patients will become non-diabetic. That's just the reality of it, because it's most likely not the case that you're going to leave the office of the doctor and start making healthier choices. You're going to take that medicine, you're going to take your insulin, and you're going to go home and you're going to take that every day. Most of the time. I know few people that have decided on their own after getting some bad news from the doctor to make the change. Most of the time, and this is my personal experience, I'm not speaking for everybody else. Most of the time, we will take the medication and we will avoid everything else that can actually help us in order to keep living in that reality that we created for ourselves. So when I approach fitness, I'm always like, bro, I want to get my people in the gym. I don't care who works it. You can be black, white, purple, green. I don't care who. I want everyone to come to my gym, but especially black people and black folks. I want them in my gym because I know what you deal with. Like, you might say, yo, my whole family dealing with everybody has heart attacks, or everybody got diabetes, or everybody got uh, uh, common things that we deal with. Now, I'm having a little brain fart with that, but we all deal with that, and I want to be the first person to tell you, like, yo, I understand that. However, this is what we can do about it. This is what you can do. You can be that person in your family to set that tone. I want to motivate you to be the person to make these healthy changes. And I want you to feel the results. And I want you to be able to have these habits. Because when they see you making these changes, then they feel like there's somebody that can lead the way. I want to create leaders in the health field when it comes to the black man or the black woman. I want to create the leaders. I don't necessarily even want to change. I don't want to change you. I want you to be you, but I want you to understand the effects of making your lifestyle changes on yourself and how it can affect your family and how it can affect your lineage. Like, I just want you to see that you have options. It's not just, the health field. We don't trust the health field. So when we get information from the health field, it's less likely for us to follow it. We just take medicine and we be on our way and we deal with the rest of our life. We don't have to be on medications. We have Yakai Awaken. You got Detox Tory. You got I Am Surviving Vegan. You have these really, really big holistic coaches and teachers out there that have countless, not hundreds, I'm talking thousands of healing testimonies of any and every disease on this fucking planet. And they go to their physicians and get tested and they have it. They come back. They do what the holistic approaches. Might I add, the holistic doctors that I named are all black. They have modalities to help black people from where they are, whether you're super obese or whether you're skinny and you're just trying to put on some weight, or whether you're dealing with depression. They have modalities for everything. Or whether you have herpes, whether you have, cancer, no matter what you could be dealing with, they have modalities for every single thing, and they help every single person get either free of it or to uncharted numbers or be into a manageable state. But we have to know, bro. There's people that we can go to, and they're not in a clinic. They're not sitting in an office with pills. They're talking to you about habits, and they're talking to you about what you can do right now to start making changes. They're not talking to you about things you have to take or inject within yourself. So, like, we have to find our own leaders. We have to know that it's our habits that's getting us here. It's not the doctors that are making you sick. It's the doctors that are keeping you sick. We need to go to the people that are gonna make us healthy, not keep us sick. If you break your leg, go to the doctors. If you're bleeding out, yeah, go to the doctors. That's what I honestly believe a surgeon and that's what they're there for. They're there to help with immediate needs. I can't. No, I'm not gonna. Your arm get cut off. I can't sew your shit up with a herb. I can't sew your arms up with herbs. But what I can do is get you on herbs, get you into working out, get you into eating cleaner, and now your heart's working better. Now your lungs are working better. Now your mind is clear. Now you feeling your feelings again. If you were depressed, that was one thing I noticed. Like my feelings, like they're amplified when I'm not smoking, if I'm not drinking, if I'm not, like not working out, like all of these things. Like I'm always amplifying my feelings through healthier habits. They don't just amplify them on their own. And I ultimately think that's why my energy is the way it is, because I've had way too much experience and too many winning scenarios of my practices to make me feel this way that I don't even think I could reverse. Like I still deal with like depressive symptoms at times, but they're just symptoms, and I catch them way before they'll ever put me in a hole again. So I just want to see everybody else experience that. All right, man. We're gonna go into that very next question. So our next question, we're gonna do two more, and then we're gonna talk a little bit. I want to talk to you about a few things. So our next question is, how can fitness and health initiatives better engage young black individuals and provide positive role models for their well-being, considering their unique cultural experiences? I'm gonna read that one more time. How can fitness and health initiatives better engage young black individuals and provide positive role models for their well being, considering their unique cultural experiences? Now, I had to say this, man. Like, uh, we just got to have programs in place. Like, if I wanted it, if the youth, if they want to play basketball, they should have a place where they can say, like, I want to go play basketball. This is where I can go. The question is always there, like, or the statement is always there, like, I want to do this, I want to do this. Like, I feel like in the black community, the youth, we always have the statement of what we want to do, but the question of execution is never there. So I want to go play basketball. Where do I go? You know what I'm saying? There's never the answer. I want to be a scientist. I want to be a doctor. All right, how do I get there? You know, and a lot of youth don't believe, especially when like people where I'm from and like the hoods and cities of turmoil. We don't think about college. We don't think about scholarships. We don't think about grades. We don't. So when we don't think about those things, we can't see beyond that. So when it comes to the initiative, it's up to us to put this shit in place. Like, yeah, you may not think you can get a scholarship, but I'm telling you here that if you perform in this manner, we'll give you a scholarship so you can go play basketball, you can go to school and do that. Like that, as long as they know that it's an option, they can shoot for it. So I feel like just being able to set something up where people can have their questions answered in a simple way to help them get to where they need to be, especially the youth, that'll be a powerful thing, because the moment they realize that they can go to the NBA, the moment they realize that they can become an astronaut, and the moment they realize that they can do all these things and they have a path and there's somebody that can set that path ablaze for them, they go all out. I've seen kids play in the house and play Harry Potter and jump off the table with a broom between their legs because they honestly see themselves flying in their mind. Like, kids don't have a lack of imagination, they just have a lack of guidance. Adults have a bigger problem. We lose our imagination as we get older. Kids have that. So if you can paint that picture for them and you can show them the way, they will become it. So that initiative needs to be taken by the adults by setting the stage or giving them resources to be able to have their questions on how to get to where they want to be answered. Instead of just telling kids, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. I'd rather say, here's how you do it, you know? So I think that that would be a big thing is have a house center. It's called a house center. We're gonna call it a house center. We have a house center. How do I do this? I want to do this. Cool. How do I do that? You know, we need more house centers out here. All right, y'all, I'm gonna go to one more question. Let's go. I'm gonna go with this one. I like this one. Can you share strategies for building a supportive and empowering network of peers to encourage one another and pursuing fitness and health goals within the context of shared cultural experiences? Yo, it's a lot of I love the culture shit. The strategies of building it, I'll say this. I know a lot of people who struggle with making friends in general. They struggle with connecting with people in general. So to ask somebody to build a community can be a really far-fetched idea. So I would say you have to just talk about it. You have to fucking talk about it, and you have to be okay with people not liking you talking about it. The only reason I say that is because you'll never find your tribe if you're not talking. If you're depressed and you're talking in the supermarket, someone hears you and they're dealing with the same shit. A lot of times, people who are dealing with the same shit that don't got nobody to talk about it with, they'll engage in conversation with you no matter where you are. You have to talk about it. You have to be okay with it. And you have to be okay with asking people to do shit with you. If your mindset is off, you don't feel good, like, yo, like, I'm feeling off. Call somebody that you know and say, yo, my mindset, I'm feeling fucked up. I'm feeling depressed. Like, I need to go do something. Like, can we go bowling and then talk about, you know, setting up a hike or doing something? You have to do shit with people. You have to talk. Like, that's really it. Building a community doesn't have to be, spending thousands of dollars on a venue and cooking all this food and spending all this money to do these things. Like, building a community could simply be like, yo, like, I'm not feeling good right now. Can we just like kick it? Like, I just need to be around somebody with positive energy. Like, do you like can we just chill and talk? Can we go to the park? Can you come meditate with me? Like, I know you meditate a lot. Like, can I join you in a session? Like, you have to talk because that experience will, you never know. It could make people more aware of what you're going through, and it make people ease up on how they treat you. Like, you could have people in your life dealing with a lot of shit, and we take it personal on how they move with us, and that affects how we treat them back, and it becomes a downward spiral on your relationship. Like, you have to be vocal about where you are and how you're moving and why you're doing it. Like, sometimes we look at survival mode and we look at thriving mode, but we don't look at teeter tottering between the two, trying to find your balance. Like, a lot of us are still trying to find that balance. Like, I still have symptoms of dealing with survival mode. When I'm in survival mode, I'm not my best self. However, I'm working to get out of it, and I need the people that surround me to know this is where I'm at. Like, literally every single friend I have in my life, like my closest friends, I tell them. I could be in the middle of having a conversation with them, and I could be looking pissed. I can be looking like I'm upset with them, and I will verbally tell them, like, yo, it's not you right now. This is where I'm at. One of my closest friends lives with me. You know what I'm saying? And there's times where I know, like, I'm probably like, like, I know he know, like, yo, this nigga's aggravated like shit. And I'm like, bro, like, I ain't gonna lie, it's not you, bro. I was like, I'm dealing with so much mentally, like, I don't even know how to process what I'm going through right now. So it's not you per se, and it might be coming out on you, but I'm just letting you know, like, and I'm not responsible. Like, his reaction, he could get mad and he could get mad back. That's not my responsibility of him getting mad. I have to vocalize it. I don't want that person to get mad, but everybody has to manage for themselves. And and we might lash out on people at times, but like, always be vocal about where you are so that the people in your life that you want in your life have the ability to at least empathize with you and at least try to help you fix what's going on. You can't just lash out or be mad and do all these things to people and not vocalize why, because then it's going to become personal, and now these people are going to withdraw from you rather than trying to be more understanding of where you are. So it really just comes down to talking about it, and it really just comes down to you know reaching out to people that you care about and being honest with them, because then you never know, you might get another version of them out of them that they didn't know they had, because you may empower them to want to talk about it. They might recognize it in themselves, like, damn, like, I thought this person was doing this, I thought it was me whole time they dealing with this. maybe other people in my life are going through the same shit. It changes your paradigm when someone that's dealing with shit talks to you about why they're doing the things they're doing rather than them just doing it and saying, hey, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm me. I'm gonna do what I want to do. Fuck everybody else. You can carry that attitude, or you can say like, I'm gonna be me, but I'm also gonna vocalize when I feel as though I may be hurting somebody. I'm a vocalize when I may be affecting somebody, and I'm a vocalize that that's not my intention. I'm dealing with things right now that's not allowing me to operate at my best self. So please don't take what I'm doing personal. Please don't take what I'm doing as an attack. Just know like I'm getting attacked by my own mind, and I'm trying to process through it. Like please allow me the space and the time to be able to deal with that, even if I'm around you. You know, we're not all of us have the luxury of separating our situation from my mindset. Like we have to go to work. I can't go to work with a bad attitude, but I can approach the bad day, with a good attitude and say, look, hey boss, like I know I may not be have the best attitude. I'm dealing with a lot, so I'm gonna do my best today. But please, like, can you please just cut me some slack today? Like, if I feel like I'm off or I feel like I seem like I'm a little rude, like I'm not trying to. I'm just dealing. Like that goes a long way than just showing up and saying I don't give a fuck what people think. I'm just gonna just be mad all day. I don't give a fuck. That does not work. I personally don't think that works. And if it works for you, hey, I love that you're thriving. Keep doing it. All right, y'all. We're gonna do one more question. We're gonna do one more question, man. And then, like I said, I'm gonna just drop a couple gems on y'all, and then we're gonna be on our way for the next episode. So the last question here is: how does mental toughness and resilience contribute to the pursuit of fitness and health for Black individuals? And how is this strength nurtured and maintained within the cultural communities? I'm not going to answer this one for myself. I'm gonna talk for the culture on this one. I'm gonna say that we are born for this, man. Like we've been through slavery. They done killed off the weak slaves. They done bred the strong slaves. They done spit on us. They done paid us minimum wage, and then times two less than that. They done, you know, they done what else did they do? They done ended slavery and then started the prison system. When they ended slavery in 1865, do y'all know that's the same time period that prison started? It is a same form. It's a form of slavery. Because what happens when you free these slaves that have no job, that can't get no money, that can't go home, that have nowhere to go, that can't eat? They're gonna do what? They're gonna commit crimes. They're gonna eat. They're gonna try to steal food. They're gonna try to, stay on somebody's property so they can have some shelter. They're gonna break laws. So what better way to capitalize on freeing slaves than to create a prison system that can hold them again for free labor? And I feel like we just been through so much as a culture that it's a way of life. Like now, getting out of survival mode and being able to use your mental toughness is the deadliest weapon that a Black man has. You know, we're so strong, but when we're doing things in survival mode, again, I'll go back to selling drugs. Like we are some of the best CEOs on the planet. We got kingpins all throughout every prison system. If they apply that same knowledge to any corporate business, they will hold their own times 3 times 4. Why? Because you can have a guy who knows how to run a business in an office, but when you got a guy who can run that business and knows how to have the respect of his people, and he knows how to lead them, and he has the mentality from the streets, that guy will ultimately always prevail because now he got his tribe that respects him. They look up to him. They want to work for him. They want to work with him. And they know he's nobody to be played with. They see the type of background he got. That guy can shoot to the stars and land on wherever he want to land simply because he has a wider diversity of growth, in his story. We've been through so much. We come out of a deeper hole. No one knows the depth that we went through as a people, so I can climb to the surface, but I came from 1,000 feet below. You might climb to the surface too, but your heritage, you individually, you may have climbed up, but as a culture, we have been through so much and we have bounced back from so much. I believe that we already come stock with the mental toughness and the resilience. It's getting out of survival mode and realizing that we don't need everything immediately. We don't need that $1 million tomorrow. We don't need to learn how to be perfect, You know what I'm saying? That perfection is not a thing, but we don't need these things right now. And I think that's the only thing that destroys us, as far as using our mental toughness. We want to get out of everything right now. That's just not how the universe works. That's beyond us. We have to gradually become these things. You gotta walk. You gotta crawl. Then you gotta walk. Then you run. And that applies to everything in life. We live in a microwave generation, so it can be a little challenging unwiring us to think immediate gratification, especially coming from, a group of people or culture that wants immediate change. Everything's immediate, so getting out of the idea that we need that now, it would be a big part of that. But as far as mental toughness, man, we come stock with that. Like it's wired into our Akashic records. All right, y'all. That's today. I was answering some questions, so now I want to talk a little bit more about the Ace Bodies brand. Just a little deeper. I briefly touched on it in the beginning. Man, I started Ace Bodies again just for the culture, but I started it because I needed a team. I wanted my own hub. I wanted my own to say, yo, I need mental health. Where do I go? Ace Bodies. Y'all need physical health. Where do I go? Ace Bodies. I need mental, spiritual support. Where do I go? Ace Bodies. Like, I don't want people just in the gym. I want clinics. I want programs. I want everything that my people need in one hub that they can go to and say, yo, this is where we go to get this information. I may not be the doctor, but I want the black doctors on my team that I know that I trust to deal with our people. I may not be the psychologist, but I want my team of psychologists that can deal with my people. Like, I want to find the people that I trust, on my journey because I am so connected. I'm in Las Vegas. 2 degrees of separation. I meet a lot of people. I meet a lot of the tops in their field, and I want to be able to bring the people who don't even know they exist to the door of these folks. So Ace Bodies, if you guys can see, like, it's a spade, and the spade is made up of a bunch of bodies doing squats. It's a community. Like, I am not Ace Bodies. It's Ace Bodies, not body. Like, in order to make this spade, we literally have to have a community of people. If I take one person off of this spade, that spade is now not a complete spade. It's only, it's only the whole spade. I'm getting passionate about this, so don't mind me, but like, it's only the whole spade because of the people on the bottom, the people on the sides, the people on every last part. I don't give a fuck if the people on the bottom, they're the foundation. That's where I'm at. I'm trying to hold it up. I'm at the bottom, but I'm with my folks. And the community, the bulk of the community is in the middle because there's never really gonna be everybody can't be at the top. There's going to be people that rise to it, but it also looks like an arrow. So I like my community to be real, like just like a real society. Not everyone's gonna be millionaires, but there got to be people in the middle that makes up the majority of everything. But I just want to run my company and let everybody know, like, yo, everybody plays a role here, but we need you. We need the people who are dealing with shit, who aren't right mentally. We need the people who aren't fit. We need the people who on their deathbed who don't believe in health, because those are the people and those are the stories that are ultimately gonna empower Ace Bodies to keep going, because we want to see and show these people that there's a better way. And when it does become a better way for them, they become a part of this spade. So every person on this spade represents everybody that I come in contact with on a day-to-day basis. Whether you buy a hat, whether you come to a workout session, whether you say you pour positive words into me, or whether you just attend anything, like, you are part of this spade. Like, this is our company. It's not just my company. It's our company. So this is not just about fitness. This is about the community. And again, even with the podcast, like, shout out Love. Like, I train Love, and she bringing me on here. Like, she's an Ace Bodies member. She's a part of Ace Bodies. She's a part of this. If I take a person out, it's not a spade anymore. So everybody, we work together to build the community. So I really enjoy like helping people learn. I really enjoy bringing people to the footsteps of those that they need. And I just really love what I do, man, and I want to keep growing with it. And I have a lot that I need to grow with myself. And when I bring other people onto these shows, on these episodes, I'm gonna bring specialists on. I'm gonna bring people from where I'm from on. I want everybody to get the perspectives of different people in the black community and the things that they struggle with and how we can possibly help them. So I don't want to just be up here talking. I want people to learn a whole lot. So this is episode 1. again, I just want you guys to kind of get a background of how I think, why I'm doing this, so it sets the foundation for our next episodes. And yo, like I appreciate y'all for checking me out. Um, we're gonna have a lot of juicy topics coming up. You know what I'm saying? This was chill. Like, I had questions that were already pre-in. So they send in the questions, I'll jot them down, and then I'm answering them live, or not even live, but I'm answering them here. But when we have the live questions, we bring on the real special guests, the real juicy ones. Like, I want everybody here, because then you get to see the community of black folks, how we talk, how we think, how we learn, how we grow. You get to see that all on film. So I'm super excited, man. I appreciate y'all. Again, our premium hoodies, these are 45 a piece. The whole sweatsuit is 75. If you guys tap in with me and you check me out, if you send me a screenshot of you watching our podcast, you get a discount on this. That's my thank you for saying thanks for showing love, thanks for tapping in, thanks for listening, and thanks for, thank you for being an ace body. Thank you for being an ace body. When you a part of this community, you now represent us. So I'm already assuming that you want to do better. I'm already assuming that you want to, reach that next level of yourself. So I just thank y'all, man. Like, this wouldn't be possible without the people around me. I can't do this myself. So hey, let's just keep being great. You know, I love y'all. I'm gonna shout out my man Reggie, 12 rounds in the building. Even though I got my own brand, 12 rounds is the first clothing brand that I've ever had tatted on me, because it impacted my life so much that whenever I was going through that depressive state I was talking about that depressive state I was talking about before, I got that tattoo on my arm for my mirror talks. So I would go to the mirror and talk to myself positively, and I would point at the 12 rounds tattoo, and I would send pictures to Reggie of me in the mirror with my 12 rounds tattoo. And that was my way of helping to fight out of my depression. So I kept swinging 12 rounds all day. I appreciate you, my guy. Again, he's a ace body too, even though he's Mr. 12 rounds. Instagram, Mr. 12 rounds. Um, he's a part of the family, so I appreciate you, and I'm letting y'all in on my team. We got Miss Ambilo in the building. Y'all can't see her right now, but she is a big part of the detoxing journey. I was already really healthy, before we linked up. However, I've literally personally witnessed her, going to school for herbology, help literally within the past, I want to say 5 6 months, 40, 50, 60 people, coming to her for detox teas, for herbs, teaching me a lot about different things that herbs do, teaching me about juice fasting and the overall benefits. I was doing water fast every now and then, for my mental health, but the passion that she puts into just learning health and learning about how to take care of the body, it keeps me inspired to want to keep that up all the time. I would dipple and dabble. I would eat clean when I was ready to eat clean, and then if I'm out partying, that shit go out the window. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna eat whatever I'm eating here, because I'm gonna go in the gym, work it off, and then go back to eating clean when it was, the opportunity was just there. Like, I would play it by ear. I was healthy majority of the time, but I would play my bad decisions by ear. And that's not how you really want to live, especially being in the health field. You want to keep striving for better. So I want to thank her for that as well. She's phenomenal. She's going to be on the episode one day, and we're going to talk about the detox process. We're going to talk about different herbs. We're going to talk about things that you may be dealing with. We'll have questions that, if you're dealing with diabetes, what's the best approach? If you're dealing with whatever, what's the best approach? So we'll have her on here to answer a lot of those. Again, it goes back to community. Like, without that community, I wouldn't have that discernment to say, oh, let me make healthy decision now. You don't got to report to your friends, but those are the people you talk to, so those are the people you ultimately do report to. You don't want to tell these people, oh, I'm fucking up, I'm doing this. You got to be like, yo, damn, I don't want to tell this person I'm doing this, so all right, let me make a better decision. I don't want to tell Reggie that I'm out here, you know what I'm saying, I'm slacking, I'm not believing in myself. That man will sit on the phone with me for 30, 40 minutes and pep talk me to death until I'm back at it. Like, nigga, you better get it together, bro. You say ambition, you da da da. Like, I need that sometimes. Everybody think I'm all on go, go, go. I am on go, because I got people on go that's on me, And I gotta lean on, Miss Ambilo for, when it comes to staying on top of all this, the healthiest I've been in my life, based off of all of the extra practices I've added on top of my health, because I knew there was a next level. So you got to surround yourself with people who just want you to win. That's the Ace Bodies way. Surround yourself with your team, and make your spade full. You gotta have the full spade. I do not want one person from this spade missing. Everybody plays a very essential role. Your friends, your family, whatever family you do have, whoever you consider blood, whatever it may be, they got to be on the same page in the same direction, man. So find your tribe. You know, Ace Bodies, we're here for you. If you want to be a part of the tribe, again, check us out Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 7 p.m. for our group fitness classes to get your ass fit. Stop making excuses. Schedule it in. I told you the times. Treat it as if it's your employment. Treat it as if it's your daughter's graduation ceremony. It won't be another one. Make sure your ass is there. Schedule your fitness to be fit. Schedule your mental health to think properly. Schedule in all of the things that you need in your life. Schedule that shit in so you can become that. And hey man, that's really it. That's episode 1. I love y'all. I'm signing out. Go be great. Ace Body shit, man. Let's go.